What's going on, good people? It's your man D Tole. You are tuned into an impromptu but necessary D Tole Live. This is season 1, episode 2. D Tole Live, where we are living in victory every day. And I'm telling you, today's show is going to be a little bit different because usually I am always the person that wants to just kind of get along. I want everybody to be on the same page and let's make things happen. But today I'm here today with a little bit of a different mindset. That being, I want to talk about uh, the state of Bay Area gospel music. Listen, I tell people all around the world that there is no sound like the Bay. There's no sound, we can't be replicated, we can't be imitated, we cannot be duplicated. There is no sound like the Bay. And today I want to open up a conversation and dive in a little bit and just to be able to talk about Bay Area gospel. How far have we come, but yet how far can we go? Today's show is going to be absolutely amazing. Do me a favor though, before we do anything, first of all, if you didn't know, my name is Demetrius Tollfree. And yes, that's me on the shirt. But my name is Demetrius Tollfree. You can hit me up everywhere at D Tollfree, at DTOLEFREE. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter or X if you use it. I've been using it a little bit more lately, so you can definitely find me on there, as well as it is on YouTube. Those of you who may be tuning in from YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We definitely want to have you be able to do that and make those type of things happen. Let me tell you something. I'm so excited about today's show that we've got to make some things happen. So, but before we do anything, those of you hanging out with us, get on the phone. I know it's not shop talk, but let me say my spiel anyway. Get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo. Tell whoever you got. I know what. I tell you what. Let's go a little bit further. I want you to tell your mom and them. Listen, why don't you open up your window and scream and tell somebody? Why don't you blow your horn? Doop, doop. Why don't you just oh, but tell your mama them, Shay Shay, Ray Ray, Day Day, Delicious them, Nuck Nuck them, Pojo them, let them all know that we are live with this impromptu D-Toe live session, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Let me give a quick shout out to a couple people that might be hanging out with us. Listen, today's show, you want to definitely make sure you share this. Definitely, I didn't get a chance to promote any of those type of things. We just hopped on to make things happen. But shout out to my guy out in Stockton, California, John Greathouse the third in the building. Shout out to the homie Ashling Cole in the building on YouTube. Shout out to Gloria Forbes Walters. I'll talk about her a little later. My guy, my bro, Ivan Johnson in the building, man. What is going on? Glad to have you hanging out, as well as to Elder Michael Washington from the little church that I attend in Hayward, California. Yes, United States of America. Listen, all right, y'all, do me a favor. Make sure you share. Do whatever you got to do. Help us get some more people in to watch this. But whether you watch this live or whether you watch a restream of this, whether on Facebook or YouTube, you need to definitely dive in the comments to make things happen. Shout out to Annette Gray hanging out with us. Glad to have Annette all the way from Memphis, Tennessee in the building. All right, y'all, let's get ready to jump on. Let's make it happen. So today's topic, we are talking about Bay Area gospel. And we're going to be talking about how far we have come, but more importantly, how far can we go? You know, I can't have this conversation by myself. As a matter of fact, somebody's at my door ready to join today's show. I'll tell you what, let's get ready to bring up my first co-host, literally over my shoulder, hanging out in the virtual building. My bro is in the building. Let's bring him up without further ado. You knowing, I don't want to offend him by calling him our resident Mexican, but let's bring him up. My bro, Poncho Romero in the building. Poncho, man, what is going on?
Dito, my guy hit me hard with that one. Yes, sir. I am the resident Mexican, man, and don't you forget it. Understand me? But actually, I'm Blaxican. A lot of people don't know that. My mama Black and my daddy is Mexican.
Yeah.
And so glad to be in the building today with you and everybody else at freedomradio.com. We are ready to get it started. Let's go, Dito.
It's all good, man. I'm glad to have you hanging out with us. Shout out to Didi Felder in the building. Also, my bro, Danny Ford in the building, also in Texas. We've got Gloria Forbes who chimes in and says, what up to you, Poncho, as well as Ivan Johnson in Sacramento says the same thing. What is going on? And Didi Felder has affectionately called you now Poncho Rivera, K-Pasta.
Wow.
Anyway.
Well, you know what? Don't get used to that, because I am actually going to change my name. Did you know that, Dito?
No, I didn't know.
Okay, well, that's subject for another, another show.
Okay. I tell you what, let's get ready to get things going. And as we do, we're going to get ready to bring up our next guest. But before we get ready to bring, well, you know what? Let's do it. Poncho, let's get ready to bring up our next guest. Get her out in the backyard.
Somebody's outside. Yes.
Yeah, let's bring her in. My homegirl and yours, the incredibly talented Ashling Tara Cole. Ashling, you're my second ever guest on Dito Live. Welcome.
Second ever. Okay. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. How you feeling?
I mean, I feel great. I know people are like, what is she? Yes, I am outside. This is my outside get up. Okay. This is called I Teach Middle School. Okay. Y'all say it with me. I teach middle school. Okay.
Yeah, good luck with that, man. How's that working out for you?
Look, I don't need luck. I need your prayers. Okay.
Yes,
I need your prayers in the name of Jesus. I have some really good sixth graders this year. Something happens between sixth grade and seventh grade. I don't know if you all remember what happened to you between sixth and seventh grade. I personally lost my mind. So I think that I am best. I am best to serve these young people because I remember what it was like. I remember what it was like.
Yeah.
Now, we weren't under attack back then.
Mm-hmm.
That was in like the late 80s, right? That
Absolutely.
we weren't
Absolutely.
under attack then like our kids are now.
Yeah.
And it is appalling. It is literally appalling to see all that they are just inundated with their little brains, but they are like little sponges. And so I'm the choir teacher at Edna Brewer Middle School in Oakland, California.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Poncho, I'm teaching them a song in Spanish right now for Hispanic Heritage Month. Yes.
Man, that is what's up. Thank you so much for that, Ashling. I really appreciate that. I don't speak Spanish at all.
It's okay. I don't either. But I know how to sing this one song now.
There you go.
I learned it just so that I could teach the babies. And when I tell you that I thought it was going to take me a couple weeks, no, they picked it up like little sponges, and they are just loving it. I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's good stuff. I will tell you both. And I know we're not in the shop talk format, but if you have AirPods 4 or AirPods Pro 2 with the new software for Apple, you can be able to translate. You can put your AirPods in your ear, hit the buttons on your AirPods, and be able to translate. It does work. One of my daughters speaks Spanish, and we've been going back and forth, and it's been able to translate it for me. So that is interesting that both of you would mention that. So anyway, shout out to the little small tech company out in the Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Anyway, today we've got a great show, and let me just throw it on the screen one more time. What we're going to be talking about today's topic is Bay Area gospel. How far have we come? But yet, how far can we go? So before we jump into the topics, before we do any of the questions, let's get ready to do the intro. I've been waiting to do this. If y'all ready, I'm ready. Let's make it happen. Throw it out to the producer, Tole. Let's go.
Tole Live. Tole Live. You're tuned in to Tole Live with Demetrius Toll-Free, where we're living in victory every day. So keep it locked right there, because it's about to go down.
And we are back. Welcome back to Tole Live again, where we are living in victory every day. And shout out to my homie Desi or Destiny Ford, who is the person who put together our intro video. I know her father is hanging out. As I just mentioned, Danny Ford is in the building. Her father, they both got a chance to help me put that together. And so it is all to the good. Glad to have y'all hanging out with us. Thank you, Ivan, Thank you, Dee Dee Felder, and so many more. All right, y'all. Let's get ready to get into today's show. And again, today we are talking about Bay Area gospel. How far have we come? But yet, how far can we ultimately go? Ashling, Poncho, here is my first question of the day, or my first comment / question. Why don't we have more Bay Area artists, Bay Area gospel artists in mainstream gospel? Why don't we have more Bay Area gospel artists in mainstream gospel? As all of us know, shout out to the incredibly talented Lena Bird Miles.
Yes.
She is one of our main representations now. When you think of gospel music from the Bay Area, you can see her on stages around the country. She's a Stellar Award winner now, and so many more. But Ashling and Poncho, why don't we have more Bay Area gospel artists in mainstream gospel?
Well,
Go ahead, Ash. Go ahead, Ash.
I was going to say, I think that if we talk about where we are, we have to talk about where we've come from, right? And so, just I've just been as I knew that this was a topic, just taking some notes. Just of I didn't grow up in church, and so when I got saved at 24, y'all can kind of do the math of when that was.
Last year,
the late 90s. God bless you, Poncho. The late 90s. I had to go back. I didn't know. I didn't grow up with the Hawkins family. I didn't grow up with Emmett Powell. I didn't grow up with. I think my mom took me to Glide Memorial Church with Reverend Cecil Williams before he passed away a couple times, but that wasn't like church. That wasn't. I learned about all that stuff later on, but the Bay Area historically, just the ones that I've mentioned, the Hawkins family, they put the Bay Area on the map as far as for gospel music. And who took the torch? Who did they pass the torch to? Now, I have to say, I did an event over this last weekend with Pastor Jamie Walter Hawkins, who is the next generation of the Hawkins family. And it's so good to see him out in the streets again, because he's been going through it, you know what I mean? And so it's good to see the possibility of that. But, Edwin Hawkins, Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir, that was founded in the 80s, and they're still doing their thing to this day. I think that when I travel East Coast compared to West Coast, they do church different on the East Coast and in the South. Texas, Louisville, Kentucky. You go all the way through over to, Atlanta, Georgia, up the East Coast. They do church different. They actually have gospel stations, gospel radio stations, a plethora of them. We don't really have that out here. We have stations that do a gospel hour. We have stations that do a Sunday morning gospel show, but we don't really have radio stations that play gospel. So gospel to me on the West Coast is a lot of times an afterthought. It feels like that to me. We have our mainstream music, and then gospel is an afterthought. And I don't know how to change that. I don't know where the shifting needs to happen, because we're not lacking in talent.
True.
Don't get it wrong. We are not lacking in talent. And we've got Jarrell, who put the choir together, who now is performing out. We've got soloists like Crystal Lene Thomas. We have LJ, Lawrence Matthews' son, LJ Matthews. We have some young up and coming DJ Tole Free. We have incredible young gospel artists, or artists that are, so we're not lacking in talent, but I think that we're lacking in the platforms that we have out here on the West Coast. We're not gospel centric, if you will. It's kind of a secondary thing. Oh, we do this. Oh, and we do gospel as well.
Got you. Well, you mentioned the passing of the torch. Now, I, who have been in part of the Bay Area all of my life and kind of, have seen gospel go from one place to the other. Poncho, you can help me on this, and we'll go back to you in just a second, bro. So in terms of passing the torch, you mentioned Edwin and Walter Hawkins. I feel like, and those of you who are watching and those of you hanging out with us, you can give me your opinion. I feel like the torch was passed to their first cousin, Lawrence Matthews. I feel like that torch was passed to him late 80s, early 90s, and Lawrence, who eventually got signed to Gospel Centric Records and did 2 albums with them, none of which are available on iTunes or Apple Music. We got to figure out why that is. But yeah, Lawrence kind of took that torch from his cousins, and then Lena, in my opinion, Lena in terms of visibility. Lena is the one who picked up the visibility torch and has come and has gone on different stages. And Ashling, of course, yourself, being on Sunday Best, true enough, that has afforded you some incredible opportunities. But here we are. When people think of Bay Area gospel music, beyond the Hawkins and of course now Lena, there are not really many recognizable names in the masses or in the mainstream of gospel music. Poncho, man, I'll throw it out to you, bro. I mean, you're just as old as I am. You've been in the game just as long as I have. What's your thought on this, bro?
Well, you know what? I think that both you and Ashling have certainly hit some points, man, that are key, that I'm going to piggyback on just a couple of them. And number one is that I'm just going to kind of sum it up a little bit of what Ashling was saying. Unfortunately, we are in a smaller market. We are not have the like metroplex of entertainment like the LA, Chicago's, or New York's of the world. So that's one thing that we have against this. We're kind of like in this 100 square miles of the Bay Area that is has been totally blessed, man. We have a plethora of talent for the amount of talent that we have in this 100 square miles that we call the Bay Area. Man, we have. I mean, you can't throw a rock without hitting a great organist or keyboardist or musician as a whole, or a singer, whatever they do, whatever venue they have, or their outlet is. But I think, man, we have a small market. I believe that we are so far west from the rest of the country that clearly, until the Hawkins had kind of done their explosion, so you take a little bit of the Hawkins, you take a little bit of Sylvester Stewart, and for those who know that is Sly Stone and Larry Graham, and they created that Oakland sound that we have a little bit. But we kind of have like our little niche, and it's a little hard for us to kind of get the recognition, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. And I want to give a shout out to Ivan Johnson, who puts a great comment on it. Thank you, Ivan, for mentioning this. And so he's just as old as I am too. Him and Poncho are the same age. But so we mentioned the passing the torch. So I agree with you, Ivan. So he says that the Hawkins, and then we had Daryl Coley, who was from the Bay, from Oakland, then moved to Los Angeles and kind of started building his acclaim. But then, yeah, he says that Daryl Coley is who put Lawrence on. I love that. Now, let me put this on, and I see another great person who is hanging out with us in just a second. But Gloria Forbes says, Bay Area has historically known for amazing church and community choirs, which we don't have a lot anymore. And then Leonard Bailey, my bro, who I got a chance to hang out with a couple of days ago, he says the business part has to match the talent.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, man, Lynn said something right there, man.
Okay. So I'm with him. So if that is the case, then that leads me up to a great question. And thank you, Leonard, for saying that. So if we have, I don't want to say this and make anybody get mad, but let me put it on the screen this way. So if we have in the Bay Area all of these smart people, and we have a ton of them, we have a ton of people that are smart, and then why don't we have our own record label? And before you answer, let me throw this on the screen. I know that we have the incredible Marcus McCauley, who has created a great avenue for people like Ashling Cole, for Darius Braxton and Anthony Washington and others.
Yes.
So if he is our record label person of the Bay Area, that's cool. I'm with it. I'm not mad at it. But why aren't we all then putting our effort to push him or help him push us to the next level? So, I mean, if we have all these smart people, all these great people that are great minds, what was the person that was over the event that you was over? Was it Gregory Cole? Is that was first? Yeah. So Gregory Cole, who used to be a teacher at my high school, he was the band teacher at Castlemont while I was there. Who put on this event that we just had over the weekend with the finale on this past Sunday. But if we have all these great people in the Bay Area, all these smart people, business savvy people that know the music business, why don't we have a thriving record label that represents the Bay? Which one of y'all want to jump in?
I'm gonna leave that to you guys because you guys kind of work in that realm. Ashling, you know, you rubbed elbows with those people at that level. Dito, I'm kind of like more. I'm just a little country pianist, man, from a storefront church, brother. So, you know, I wouldn't know anything about that. But can I say this, just from my particular point of view? Um, and I'm asking. I'm not stating. I'm asking. Is it that we in the Bay Area, do we have a hard time working with each other? Is that one of the catalysts?
That's a great question. That's a great question. So, Ashton, if we have all these smart people in the Bay, how come we don't have a record label? And again, we do have Marcus McCauley, so I do not want to discount what Marcus McCauley does.
Absolutely.
But if so if he's the lone gospel label in the Bay Area, why aren't we putting our efforts in to help push him forward or help him create a bigger lane for all of us to all drive and ride down?
These are great questions. And I don't know that we have one answer necessarily, but I do know just from observing Marcus McCauley's struggle, just, you know, from being on the inside with him, people don't really show up to support. So every year, or, you know, he tries to do it every year. He puts on the holiday at the temple, for example. He does it with excellence. He starts way in advance, 6 months before December. He'll start, you know, putting the project aside, choosing who the artists are, choosing the material, all that stuff. This year, we have a very special guest. I don't know that he's announced her yet, he has. He has. Okay, so Dorinda Clark Cole is on, you know, is on board this year. So that's very exciting. That is very exciting to have Dorinda Clark Cole. And then we have all of our Bay Area greats that are involved in it. But the last few times, now he is doing something a little different this year. He's doing it without a church affiliation. So the last few years, he has done it with a church affiliation. We did it one year at Glad Tidings, which was absolutely beautiful. We didn't feel Glad Tidings. We did it at a church in San Jose. Bible Way, we definitely did not feel that church. And that was half, if not more than half, or less than half the size of Glad Tidings. This year, he's doing it at the historic Henry J. Kaiser Center. And we're hoping, or he's hoping, that was his perspective. Let's try to do it without a church affiliation. And maybe people are like, well, I don't want to go to that church because such and such, or I don't want to go. Well, okay, great. Well, let's take it out of the church and let's see if people show up for that. We buy tickets for all kinds of things. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say I'm going to see Legally Blind tonight at Yoshi's. I bought a ticket. I don't
know if I'm make, but I have tickets though.
Okay, I bought my ticket. I didn't ask for a handout or anything like that because I want to support this band. I want to support them. And so I put my money where my mouth is. If I love you and I support you, guess what? I'm going to put my dollars behind you. And so I wish that people would do that. They would actually show up and support. Now, I will say also in the Bay Area, we're loosely known for non-affiliation. I'm not talking about MMS or the record label, but I'm just talking about from East Coast perspective on the West Coast. We don't really have a church affiliation. We don't have a mega church. We don't have we're very fragmented. We have, the other day I was driving through, I think I was at Antioch, and I think I passed 6 churches in a half a mile. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we not coming together? Why? It seemed like if the minister of music doesn't agree with the pastor of the church, then the minister of music takes the whole choir and goes and starts their own church.
Ooh-wee.
So instead of us taking the time to really focus on camaraderie or connection or we're stronger in numbers. Well, I don't agree with you. I'm going to go start my own church. And we allow it. By going with the minister of music. Now, I'm not talking about anybody specific, but I've seen something like that happen. And then the whole choir is gone. And then, hey, Ja'Cory Prothero, bestest friend. And then we see the numbers are dim over here, and the numbers are also dim over here. Well, we may have had 500 people in the one church. Now we have 250, and then that fragments, and now we have 100. Now we have 125 people at 4 different churches instead of 500 people at one church. And I'm like, what kind of sense does that make? If we're serving one God, how do we have 11 churches if we're serving one God? Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah. Well, my bro chimes in, Pastor Damon Owens chimes in and says, just on MacArthur Boulevard alone in East Oakland, there are 135 churches
That's crazy.
in one corridor. And then Ivan Johnson chimes in and says, and now
Right.
Bishop, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to go down
That
that road.
part.
I will say this. Let me
That part.
let me chime in, and I already had this as a question. Marcus Thompson has already hit on it. My bro, my classmate, mine and Poncho's classmate, and then I did see Casey also hit on it as well.
Okay.
And that is this: does the Bay Area still have that same stigma, the crabs in a bucket mentality? And what I mean by that is, okay, I see your ministry or your music level is about to bubble, and before I let you bubble before me, I'll pull you down, or I won't support you, or I'll tell my people not to support you, or or we start having events on the same day, bringing people from out of town, thinking the Bay is only so big.
That's right.
And so, and I want to give a shout out to Jonathan H. Johnson. He's probably not on right now.
Man, I was just thinking about him. Man.
I want to give a shout out to Jonathan Johnson, man, because Jonathan Johnson takes the time. He puts in the effort. Nobody told him to do it. I'm sure he doesn't get any money for doing it, but he takes the time every month to find every flyer from every event that's going on in that particular month, and he puts it on his Facebook page. He tags everyone that's on these flyers that's coming in an effort to, one, let us know what's going to be going on in the month, but then also the hope that we don't cross paths by trying to have similar or same events on the same day. Poncho,
absolutely,
for so many years, bro, the Bay Area has had this horrible stigma of having this crabs in a bucket mentality, man. What's your thought on that, bro?
I thought about that, and I know that you and I have had conversation before, man, and this whole stigma thing, I guess it was already kind of in place, when we were coming up. And so maybe this is something that happened with our bearers, like the Hawkins when they were, doing their thing, and when the Pointer Sisters were popular at their time, and everybody was coming up at that time. But we seem to kind of like we're born into that. I don't know how to break off that stigma. I don't know how to do that, man. Other than the fact, like Ashling is saying, hey, we got to participate with each other more, support each other more, because we are a small community. But it's going to take some. I think it's going to take some leadership of some key people, such as well, I mean, when I'm talking about key people, I'm talking about Tole, that run your guys that at your level, that run in your circle, who have a lot of following, who know a lot of people. That it may take something like an event or two to bring us together to kind of break that stigma, man. But I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't really have an answer.
Well, okay. Well, I tell you what, we got a couple people that are chiming in that have some great comments. So let me throw one on the line, which is my bro, Tim Moore. Tim Moore, he chimes in and says, this is a great topic. And he says, I remember when my church, Israel, he said he remembered bringing Israel and New Breed a few years ago. And the promoter told the Bay Area is usually skipped for concerts, etc. He said, due to sales being so low, he said, I'm sure that might have something to do with it. Damon Owens further chimes in. He says, statistically, according to the Obama Group, the Great Bay Area with 7.5 million people is one of the most unchurched regions in America. Now, my boy BJ Kemp is in the building, and he did say that he has the answer to the question. So, BJ, if you want to throw your comment or your answer in the chat, we would love to hear it. My bro, Carl Mason, is in the building. He says it takes a strong team with business experience and corporate fundamentals to promote our Bay Area gospel artists. We also need more gospel music, media, TV, radio, and social media to present on a national level. Jacory further chimes in and he says, I have tried supporting everyone. Getting older, he says, I think I am over it. My bro, Pastor Kenneth McDaniels, who I got a chance to see just a couple of days ago in, as my grandmother would say, in the flesh. He says, we need to do a united as one. Very interesting comment. J-Mo, who, the truth teller, who I've been meaning to put some of his comments on. J-Mo, forgive me, bro. But he says, he's talking about what Damon Owens says. He says, you think that could be the lack of evangelism? That is a pastoral question that I don't want to touch. But let me tell you something. We've got a lot of things going on, but I do have another question. And first of all, let me say thank you to everybody that's hanging out with us. Thank you for being a part of today's show. As a matter of fact, why don't we take a very, very brief, quick commercial break and hear from today's sponsor? We'll be right back, literally right after this.
Yeah, out the mud, don't need a pat on the back. Yeah, 80s baby rolls grew from the crack. You ain't even got a trip, I'ma pick up the slack. Can't get money and spend time with you. Yeah. I seen a demon try to meditate, it's crazy.
Shout out to this week's sponsor, this episode sponsored from Stable Goods. I thought I had one of my Stable Good bags in here, but listen, I don't go anywhere without Stable Goods. Every Sunday, every time I take a trip. I just came back from Hawaii and I took a whole 4-day trip. That's the wrong bag. I took a whole 4-day trip with just a backpack and my Stable duffel bag. So I just want to give a shout out to Rashad, my guy, the owner of Stable Goods. They actually are in the middle of a great sale. They're doing a clearance sale. So they've got some great bags that are over 75% off. So all you have to do is, as you see, is just go to thestablegoods.com and be able to get you some bags. Let Rashad know that you saw this on Tole Live. I'm sure he'll be glad to see you.
My birthday coming up, B.
Well, your birthday in June.
Well, wow. Yeah, but you know, it's coming up eventually.
Okay. My birthday's before his.
February. I got it. I got it. So let's get back into the show. And today, y'all messing with me. Today we are talking about gospel music, Bay Area gospel, talking about how far we have come and how far can we go. Pastor Kenny McDaniels put a comment up just a moment ago. He put just a comment up just a few moments ago saying that we need to be united as one. Yeah. I love that. I love that thought. And BJ says, man, I need to be on the camera to explain, but it may ruffle some feathers. Well, you know
what? Play. We can make that happen. Don't play.
As long as you don't give me your R&B, person. We are a Christian. But if you're serious, BJ, I can send you the link, bro. We do everything impromptu, man. This whole show today is impromptu. So let me know if you for real. Send me a text, man. I will send you the link, and you can definitely join us on the stage. Jacory chimes in and said, send him the link. All right, I'm not mad at it. Go ahead, Ashling.
I was just going to say, I think that it's also understanding the process by which it takes to become a successful artist. We can say gospel artist just for the sake of this conversation, but it's not enough for you to just record a song and post it on social media. It's not enough. You have to, first of all, you have to have your brand together. What is your brand? Who are you? Who are you? Are you as an artist? Do you have a logo? Like your branding is everything. You've got to create a brand that people are going to recognize, like the Golden Arches, or like whatever brand that you can think of right now. Music industry is no different. It's no different. You got to create a brand, right? And so that's first. You have to start there. You've got to, what's your story? What's your testimony? Who are you as an artist? What are you? Are you a worshiper? Are you a praiser? Are you what is your sound? What is your sound? What is the sound that God has given you as an artist? And even let's take 10 steps back from that. Has God called you to be an artist? Has God called you to be an artist? Okay, we really start there, right? But yes, Carl Mason, artist development is key. So you have your branding. Who are you? You've got to go in the studio and spend some time. Don't quit your day job. Use that day job check to put yourself in with producers, or build a team, or go to your church affiliation and say, hey, let's raise $10,000. You can get so much done with 10 G's. I'm here to tell you, you could do a whole record or an EP at an excellent level, right? Who are you as an artist? Create your sound in the studio. You definitely need a team. You need a manager, you need a publicist, you need producers, you need core musicians, you need a choir, maybe if you want to have a choir. Then you got to schedule your single drops. When are we going to do it? How are we going to support it? What is it going to look like? Are we going to do a video? You literally, and let me tell you something, y'all. You could go to ChatGPT right now and say, I want to be an artist. Map out how would I do it in 12 months? I want to be a national mainstream gospel artist. I'm starting from zero. How could I do it? And you could utilize this tool. I use the paid version, so you may want to upgrade. And you can map out a schedule, but you're not going to just go in the studio and record a song and then you're going to release it and then it doesn't do anything. And now you're mad because you just think that you're going to record a song, and I'm from the Bay Area. We have a sound. They don't know what they're missing because I'm this artist. And that ain't how it works. That's not how it works. Just because you think you an artist does not mean that the whole world is going to agree with you. You have to have a plan. You have to have a process. You have to have a team. You have to have, like, these are things that you have to do in advance. And I think that that's definitely missing. I've seen people record live. We can go back to the Robert Weaver and the
Oh my God, the Weaver Corral. Wow, you going way back. You are
Let me tell
going
you,
back.
we went into, I think it was a Union City Apostolic that we recorded that album. Shout out to Kevin Stansel, who was the main producer and music director on that. We recorded one of the greatest albums I had ever heard. It was collaborative. It was celebratory. It was worshipful. It was praise. It was everything. Let me tell you, nothing happened with it. It was never. They didn't have the finances. They put everything that they had into the recording, and then they looked around and said, "Well, now what? Yeah, now what is?"
You bring up a great point. So I tell you what, I have an incredible question that I want to ask. But before I get that,
who's at the door?
We got a guest. Matter of fact, I got.
Oh, and they really want to get in here.
I got two unanticipated guests.
All right, on in anticipated.
Let me throw my question up. Then I will bring on these two different guests. One who is a choir master, and the other who has been in the music game on multifacets, from gospel to R&B, has toured and traveled the world around so many times. But let me throw this question up, and I'm going to bring in my two unexpected guests. People just ringing my doorbell. Anyway, so Ashling brought up some great points. Ashling, you're wise beyond your years. You brought up some great points. So here is my question. If we have all these great singers, we have all these great writers, we have all these great directors, singers, minstrels, all these people nestled right here in the Bay Area.
Come on, man. You telling the truth, D.
Why can't we, just for a moment, put our personalities to the side, put our personal gain to the side? Why can't we, like other regions, Mississippi, Chicago, New York, Miami,
anywhere,
and other places? Why can't we put our efforts into the basket of a Bay Area mass choir and do an album? We've got Derek Hall, who's in our region, who writes songs galore for Ricky Dillard. We've got Greg Hunter. We've got all of these great people. Why can't we put the crabs in the bucket to the side? We say that we want to get this acclaim for the Bay Area. Why can't we put our efforts into a Bay Area mass choir? As you see, there's nobody's name in front of it. Why can't we just put together a Bay Area mass choir and make things happen? I tell you what, before any of you answer this, let's get ready to bring up my first unexpected guest, my bro, Leonard Bailey from Leonard Bailey and Friends.
Yes. Yes.
Man,
Leonard,
what's
man,
cracking, Lynn? All
welcome to
right.
today's
What's
show,
up,
bro.
Lynn?
Glad to have you hanging
What's
out
up,
with us.
y'all?
Before you chime in, I also want to bring up my bro who is in the building. We know him again. He's a quartet singer. He plays multiple instruments. He's toured with Raphael Sadiq and so many others.
Mhm.
Tony. My guy, BJ Kemp, also in the building. BJ, what's up, bro?
All right. Am I in? Am I checked
You in,
in?
baby.
You're in.
You in.
Okay.
You in.
Wait, first
So,
of all, Leonard,
I
are you getting a pedicure right now? Are you at the pedicure
am,
studio right now?
am,
Okay.
am,
All right.
I,
am.
I'm
I
sorry,
just,
I'm going
G-Tar.
on a
I
little
just,
vacay.
I
These
ain't mad
dogs got to be right.
I'm not mad at you. So, okay, so Leonard, I'll start with you, man, and then BJ is going to give us this great answer that he's been waiting to tell us. But if we have all
Yeah.
these
So
in the Bay Area, first of all, shout out to you, man, for the incredible remake of the Edwin Hawkins classic. He's all right, taking over radio around the country, man. Want to give you
thank you,
Mhm.
sir.
open congratulations, man, for what you've been doing, and can't wait to see what else you're going to do, man. But talk to us, man. Tell us what you got on
I
your mind.
appreciate it. Yeah. So it's a couple of things that I think that we are missing. One of the things that you mentioned at the top of, or a little bit earlier, we talked about the greats, as in Marcus and his label, and others that have tried to create their own labels. I think that what we have to look at, we have to speak to the fact also that in 2025, and this is no disrespect to anyone
Mhm.
can have a label in 2025. And so I think the idea of kind of everyone going to one label, everyone's independent these days.
Mhm.
No one really has backing of a Sony or Columbia, any of these big major record labels that we once had. And so if everyone is independent, what value would I be getting by going with someone else who's independent, who's experiencing some of the same struggles that I could be experiencing?
Yeah. So, Lynn,
Uh,
so I'm
go ahead.
asking, so are you saying that clearly the Bay Area, or just in this subject matter right now where we're talking, we're just too convoluted. There's just too many of us.
I don't think that there's too many of them. I think that I think the Bay Area talent is undeniable. Like, we have amazing talent. I actually, back from when the Cathedral Boys and
Hello.
Peace and Ezel, Ely and Friends, Bayview
Oh my
Opera
Oh
God.
House,
man.
like
Oh man.
back in those days, we had far more groups and choirs than what we have right now. We have very few compared to what we had back then. And so I don't think it's necessarily oversaturated. I think
Okay.
that I just feel that the music industry as a whole has shifted, which I think kind of speaks to how we're moving. I also feel that we've had some amazing projects come out of the Bay Area, but one thing that I've noticed is that none of our artists, for the most part, we have, the Lenas, we have the Joe Douglases, but a lot of people are okay with just putting out a project to be Bay Area famous, right?
Mm.
And so we don't, like Ashling mentioned about the $10,000 budget. We absolutely can record for $10,000. Your marketing budget should probably be more than $10,000 if you really
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about getting into people's households and getting on the radio. And so I think that we don't really have a clear vision of what the gospel music industry at that, what that looks like in 2025.
Well, also, now let me jump in right here because you said you're talking real good. The thing that you said that it sticks out to me is radio. We don't have Bay Area radio where you can go to Dallas or you can go to Chicago or you can go to some of these other cities that Dito just mentioned. They have radio presence. They have relationship with the radio. If I'm putting out a single and I have somebody who's already got a relationship with the radio station, it's going to be easy for me to get on the radio. Now I'm on that radio. That person has now talking to another mainstream radio host or programmer or producer. And now they've told two friends and they've told two friends. And you will see the song take off all the way up the East Coast. But out here, who do we go to? Who do we send our music to?
Yeah.
Who do we have in radio? And
Absolutely.
the market, they have cornered the market. And I don't care if you like this, what I'm getting ready to say, or you don't. There are gatekeepers for radio. There are gatekeepers.
Yes, indeed.
You can't just send your song into a radio station and expect it to play. You've got to pay to get
Yep.
played if you're not in it, and we're not in it. We're separate. We've got a whole mountain range between us and the rest of the country. We're separate
Let
out
me
here.
jump in right here,
Crayola.
Ashling, because I got
Hmm.
BJ Kemp, who is quite knowledgeable. He and I had a chance to record a song together for Market Phillips and had a great time. But BJ is in the building again. We know him for helping so many great artists catapult their careers and stuff like that. A great person to have in the background, a great person to have on your side. BJ, man, you chimed in a little bit earlier as we were talking about different things about the music industry. You chimed in and said that you have the answer. I brought you on specifically to give you this chance to tell us and this waiting congregation, what's the answer, bro?
Good evening, everybody. You hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for sending me the link. The answer. So the answer comes in the form of a question. Who in the Bay Area was our industry connection? The history of the Bay. Who was that? Where did it start? And I'm staying gospel.
Who was our what now? Say it again.
Who was our industry link? Who in the Bay Area was our industry go-to?
Are you talking about artist wise or are you talking about business wise?
Artist wise, business wise. Let's just say artists.
Okay, so if we're talking about artist wise, I think our initial link, and I could be wrong, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Hawkins was our initial link into the mainstream of Bay Area gospel.
I agree, D.
There you go. There you go. So we're gonna start with Edwin, and we're gonna go to Walter, right?
Okay.
So that's the top of the food chain, right?
Yep.
For years and years and years and years, right?
Absolutely.
All the Love Lives, everything. And this is where the feathers will be ruffled. They were supposed to set up the business for everyone else to come eat. And someone tell me, did they do it?
I feel the feathers getting ruffled.
Yeah, that's
No.
a good question.
No, you right on it, bro. You right on it.
They didn't do it. You know what they did? They kept everybody in the headlock. Essentially, if you think about the history of this Bay Area and starting from there and coming on down, they kept everybody in the headlock. It was an honor to be in the Love Center family.
Absolutely.
It was an honor. It was a
Absolutely.
privilege. It was an exclusive place. Right? They were the kingpins, and if you ask me, Walter Hawkins is the best music curator of all time.
Absolutely. I agree.
Okay? We had Joel. But Tremaine came after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tremaine didn't make it big until she left Walter and Edwin.
Mm.
She crossed over when she left. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm with you. I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying.
After that, we had Daryl. Daryl went when he left. They had them both.
I said that. When he moved to LA. When he moved to LA. Yep. Then he became the artist.
They had him in a headlock.
Yeah.
It almost stops at Daryl. You had Lawrence for that 90s period, right?
Yep.
For whatever reason, it didn't go past those two records. Everybody else, if you think about it, if they didn't set up the business, how were the artists gonna come up and eat? If it wasn't gonna be them, who was it gonna be? They had radio, they had national appeal, they had all the hits. They were the connection. When people came to the Bay, you had to see them.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Even still,
So
baby,
we had a whole we had a whole Edwin Hawkins the seminar, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you wanted to get a song on the record in those 90s, you had to go through him, right?
Yeah.
But he was kind of gatekeeping the records for artists that want from the Bay that wanted to get on. Nobody can really get on.
Yeah.
But he's still the top dog. He's still no one usurped Edwin Hawkins and Walter Hawkins. But if they didn't set up the infrastructure in the Bay for your Tashinas and your Robins and your D Halls and all the people that was coming through in the late 80s and the 90s, if they didn't do it, who was going to do it?
Bro, that's crazy. So you what you're speaking on, before we came on the air, me and Poncho was having this same conversation.
Literally.
I said beyond the Edwin and Walter Hawkins, obviously Tremaine, she's a part of that crew. Daryl Coley, who was a part of that crew but left and made his own shine happen in LA.
Right.
Lawrence Matthews, who is Hawkins, basically he's the first cousin of them. Lena, who first got acclaim as a Edwin Hawkins singer. Y'all may not want to talk about it. Y'all may not want to be honest and for real, but she was an Edwin Hawkins singer before she started getting her acclaim. BJ, bro, man, I'm glad you came in here, man, because
Lena is out of here because of what?
Man, we can talk about
because that. Warren came and grabbed her.
I know.
That's right. Absolutely.
So that leads into my great question, because and I already had this as a question, BJ. I mean, I never knew you to have the Holy Ghost, but your Holy Ghost is working.
Oh yeah.
Because I have this question, and we're almost out of time. I want to try to condense this as much as I can. But here is my next question, Leonard Bailey. You might be able to help us with this. BJ, you might be able to help us with this. Those in our listening audience, we got the Ivan Johnsons, we've got the Ja'Cory Prothos in the building, and so many others. So we mentioned Lena. So if we have all these producers, everyone has a computer, everyone has a mic, everyone say they're a producer, then why did our own Lena Bird have to leave production from the Bay Area where we got all these great producers and end up having to get Warren Campbell to put her sound out? And I'm gonna say this, and y'all gonna probably cuss me out. Y'all will probably block me after I say this. It's okay. I've been blocked before. Lena is my homie. I love her with everything I have.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if Warren is pulling the best out of Lena through what he's producing for her. Not saying that the Bay Area can do any better. I'm just saying, but the Lena that we know and see in person, everything that she does musically.
Lena needs a live album. She needs a live album.
There you go. That's the best way to put it. Thank you, Leonard, for saving me from getting killed by everybody who's listening to me. Yeah, I think that's what she needs. I think she needs something live that really shows her ability, her vocal talent, her Sunday school learning, because her ad-libs and stuff that she does is stuff that she learns in Sunday school. She is one of the great ad-libbers of our day. And I think you're right, Leonard. Maybe she needs a live project. But if we got all these people, all these great producers, all these people in the Bay Area, why did she have to run and have Warren pull it out of her?
But who's connected, D-Tole? Who's really connected?
Who?
Have all the talent, but anybody that's really connected, they have to leave here.
Yeah.
To fly.
Yeah.
Right.
The talent is not the issue. Singing, musicianship, producers, writers, that's never been the issue. But for some reason, the region is, I've been seeing the crab in a bucket thing, but for some reason, the region is just in a cycle. But we have to, we're at a certain generation where we know what came before us, but the ones that are after us really probably don't know what came before us. We have to know what came before us. There's a history. Right. There's a history of the same cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where your answer lies. We don't have to scratch our head like, oh man, why? We got all the talent. Just follow the trail.
Yeah.
And you'll figure it out. Anybody that can do something substantial from the Bay, that can bring the Bay up, they leave.
Wow.
Or they get taken out.
Wow.
And I'll say this, and I know you're almost out of time, but I just want to say this one point. We have, and this burns me, but somehow we have to get out of support. That word support, that ain't made nobody famous. I heard you. I'm going to support. We got to support your Bay Area zone. Support. Support ain't took nobody out here. We need fans. Support is just holding people up. Support the Bay Area zone. Come out and support.
Yeah.
Kill that mentality. That's all I got. I have times more, but I just want to end with that.
Detail. Let me just point one thing out. If we look at Warren Campbell's model, it is a well-oiled machine. They have history of hit records, and with Mary Mary, obviously, with their own group, with pastoring. Like, it is a business. It is a business. There are funds coming in through there constantly.
I think we may have lost Ashling. She might have got stuck while she was outside. I want to mention all of these great comments that are coming in. You guys are lacing us with some incredible comments. BJ, man, you've given us some incredible stuff. You opened up the door to the ultimate truth, man, and I can't be mad at you. The truth may hurt, but as we all know from being in church all our lives, the truth will set you free and make you free. And whom the Son sets free, Jesus the Christ, he is free indeed, man. So listen, this whole thing, again, it was impromptu. It wasn't pre-planned. I've been trying to get myself together to do another Detail Live, but I couldn't get people on the right day. I couldn't get the right time and all this kind of stuff, man. But this has absolutely worked out to the best of my ability. Shout out to my guy, Berwin Hutcherson, who says, everyone in the Bay Area is an artist or has a project out. No fans, no audience, if you don't want the next man to win. I'm telling you, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I'm willing to go on record and say this. I'm willing to put my little couple of coins where my mouth is. If we're able and if we're ready to try to somehow put our minds together and come up with a Bay Area mass type thing or something that can promote, as many of us as possible, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I don't know who else is willing to join me, but I'm telling you, we have this sound that can't be replicated or imitated or duplicated.
That's right.
And the R&B side has it. Y'all may not like this part. And then I'm going to throw it to Ashling so she can close us out. But the R&B side has it. And you know what the R&B side does that we don't do enough of? BJ, he may roll with me on this. The word is collaboration. The word is collaboration. We as gospel artists beyond the Bay Area in this aspect, but we as artists, and I'll just stick in the Bay Area just to hang my hat here, collaboration. We don't collaborate. Everybody just wants to eat by themselves. Man, listen, it ain't fun eating by yourself. I want to bring my homies. Let's go eat and kick our feet up together. And you put your little money in, I put my little money in, and let's go enjoy and make something happen that's special that, again, can't be imitated or duplicated. Ashling, I throw it back to you to close us out. You was trying to get a point in, but your internet you to be great. But go right ahead, Ash.
My bad. I think that what's missing is the business model. We're not lacking in talent, but we're lacking in the business model. We don't have that hit factory yet. We can have it, but do we jump ship because it's not working, or do we build a new vessel? Do we take, like BJ said, do we look back at the history of what works? Do we learn from other people? Don't be bitter, but get better. Learn, watch what other people are doing and model that based on your own message, based on your own testimony, based on your own goals, and begin to build the business model. Do you have a tax ID? Do you have a nonprofit? Are you an LLC? Do you have an accountant? Do you have a business bank account? Do you have, these are the simple, basic questions that a lot of gospel artists cannot know. All I have is a sound. I can sing. That's not enough. That's not going to take us to the next level. So when Tole came to me, however many 15 years ago, and he said, you know what, I'm thinking of starting a record label. We sat down at the table and we really talked about this. And we should have done it, but we couldn't because we couldn't get everybody on board. We could not get everybody on board because it was like, well, I don't know why Detour has to be the first artist. How come I can't be the first artist? Well, why they got to use those musicians? Why can't they use these musicians? Well, why such and such got to be the producer? I can produce better than that. It
That's
was
that
ego, ego, ego. And you know what ego stands for? Easing God out. And so until we put our egos aside and we decide that we collectively want the Bay Area to have a sound, to be a hub, that's when things will start to change. But we have to change our mentality first until we get to that next level before God will even bless us. God's not going to bless us with more. You know why? We're not being good stewards over the little that he's already given us.
You can't be big when little got you.
Nope.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not mad at it. Listen, I'm gonna do this, y'all. We're not out of time, but we're not out of conversation, but we're running out of time. So listen, before we go, first of all, I want to thank everybody who has been here. The comments are still coming in. I'm sure even after we have ended this particular live, people will still see this. And this is the conversation that we might need to have again with even more people, even more smart people that are savvy, that might know more about the business than even us, that can give us insight and maybe help us put together a plan. As I said, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. So if we're ready to move forward as a Bay Area conglomerate of artists, I'm willing to make that happen. But before we go, Leonard Bailey, man, first of all, thanks for hanging out. But do you have any closing comments, man? Final thoughts, bro.
Yeah. Again, Bay Area is extremely talented. We got some of the best singers, some of the best musicians, some of the best writers. Having said that, I want to make an announcement. Y'all be on the lookout for our next single, which will be dropping, November? Title of the song is called Thankful Grateful, and it features none other than Bay Area's own Demetrius Tole, talking about collaboration. So check it out, y'all.
That's going to be awesome, man. I appreciate you for that call, man. We had a great time with that recording, man. It's all good. BJ Kemp, man, before we go, bro, any closing comments, man? Final thoughts.
Hey, man, I love a part two of this. This topic and topics like this have been burning me for a long time. And I think I'm on the inside enough and I'm on the outside, and I've seen enough to like look inside to see what's going on, you know what I mean? And you know, we do get tired of saying what the problem is, but the solution is not running from the real truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, everybody's saying we have everything we need. The Bay has everything we need, but it's like Ashling said, it's the mentality. And we have to be ready. And another thing, we're so close to LA to where LA, we sort of get forgotten about. I think somebody said that earlier. So
that's right. That's right.
Much. But anyway, thank you. I'm glad I was able to get it off me in this format. So thanks for having me,
man. Yeah, man. I'm glad you had a chance to come and hang out with us, man.
Yeah.
Poncho, man, any closing comments, bro? Final thoughts.
Hey, man, you know what? This is so good. I think this is going to open up an avenue of communication that I think we need, Tole, for sure. Amongst all of you guys who are, you know, superior musicians and writers and everything, just like Leonard said. And I have a question for you. And maybe we can do this for another time. But, you know, we do have that unique sound that's applicable just to the Bay Area, to the Oakland, right? And you're right. We are under LA's shadow. But let me ask you this. Is it that this same sound is now kind of passe? And because we don't do what the LAs, the Chicagos, and the New Yorks of the world do, we don't come from that in that particular vein of music. Is it that we're now passe and nobody wants to hear us?
Wow, interesting.
Just a question.
Interesting question, man. One we will have to dive into at another time. But last but not least, Ashling Cole. Any closing comments? Final thoughts?
I think that this is a wonderful platform. Tole, thank you for inviting me to the table. And as Danny Ford said, do not forget this conversation. And I think that we should definitely schedule part two because there's other artists. This might just be what God is pulling us towards. Like this might be the glue that pulls us all together, Tole. So I appreciate you listening to the call and putting us all together today to start this conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I was to give a closing comment, I'll just say this. I've said this before on Shop Talk and other places, but better would never be in your future until good enough is in your past. I'm gonna let that soak in. And I'm gonna say it one more time. Better will never be in your future until good enough is in your past. This has been an incredible impromptu show. Make sure that you are subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so. We definitely want to have a part 2 of this conversation. Would definitely love to plan it out. I mean, this again, this was on me so hard. Poncho popped up. I said, man, we going live. I hit up Ashling and said, what are you doing? She's like, for you, I'll make it happen. So this is how this whole thing happened. Let's plan to do a part 2 of this. Let's get some more great artists. We had some hanging out with us today, some great artists, some great producers. I would love to do this again. But on behalf of Poncho Romero, Ashling Cole, BJ Kemp, and Leonard Bailey, my name is Demetrius Tollfree. Until the next time on this same D-Toll network, at this same D-Toll time, even on this, I can say, thank you, Lord Jesus. I'll